Welcome to Easy Nail Trends. Today's application is going to cover basic instructions on how to apply our wraps. And we're feeling kind of funky, so we went ahead and picked this design. The item number will be in the comments for where you can find this design on our website, easynailtrends.com. We are working with a small set of nails today, dummy nails that is, because this will be a fairly quick video. It's just a basic installation of our nail wraps. So when you get our nail wraps, they will come in 2 sheets of 10. We sell 20 pieces per set. They come like this. You save one for later, and then you work on one now. This one we didn't cut. This was not cut for sale. This was actually cut for our video, so it's a little longer. We're going to go ahead and start with cutting along the dotted lines. Every set of decals and every set of wraps will come with abbreviated dotted lines. You just cut carefully in between the lines, and then you cut squares. We don't prefer that you cut around the design. If you don't have patience for that, it's not necessary. You can, however, if you want to go ahead and just get rid of that excess now, but in the end it won't matter because it's all going to go into place. Before we put this in water, I want to go ahead and cover a couple things about colors. We have a video on picking the right color for your decals. We stress creativity. We stress finding a color that accommodates your decal and then going with it. You can pick any color of the rainbow for decals. We do recommend on our wraps that you stay with white, and we're going to show you why, which is why we have a couple different colors here on our dummy nails. But if you want it to look just the way it does in the picture of the item you purchased, then you're going to want to use it with a white base. So what we've done here is I have a purple, which is in the design, so it would highlight it, and then of course the classic white, which is what we're saying you need to use. And the brands are not important. We don't sponsor any brands just as yet. So what we did is we added 2 colors of purple to this dummy nail. We added 1 coat of purple to this nail, and then of course the classic white. So I left this kind of I left this like this because I did want to show you this part before the video. We sell our wraps with intentions for them to be a full cover, or you can use them as tips. So what I normally do is, say you like the pretty color purple, to access the design in the decal or in the wrap, then we're going to two-tone the nail. So how I do this, and I do this in a lot of videos, but I don't think I've ever shown anyone how I do it, so we're going to also do that real quick. So you, on a natural nail, you would want to follow the natural color of your nails. So this back part's pink, so I would put on the full purple of my nail, and then I would just tip the whites, or tip the tip of the nail with white polish. So I'm going to act as if this is the same. So I just pick a spot, and then I just kind of quickly go across it here. This line is whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be a perfect line, because once you've put the tip of the wrap down, it's going to all blend anyways, and no one will know that this line was not perfect. But I tend to find this fairly easy. I am a tip girl. I am not a full polish type of girl, so I actually prefer to tip my nails no matter what color I'm using or what product of ours that I'm using. Now I kind of did that a little messy, so you'll see that that jagged line is not going to matter once we put the tip on. So we're going to let that dry while we now cut the decals, and we're going to show you what it looks like true to form on its white. Then we'll show you the tip, and then we'll show you why we don't recommend using colors with our wraps. So let's start with the wrap. Again, as we told you, the tools that you'll need for this is an emery board or a nail file, a pair of tweezers to keep your hands dry, but it's not necessary, a pair of scissors, your base polish, your top coat, and of course a little thing of water. You dip your wrap in the water. You can do it with your fingers. We just like to keep our hands dry because we're moving kind of fast. We realize some of these videos get a little long, so we want to try to find a way to cut some corners here and shorten them up. If your wrap is not ready to budge, then it needs to go back in the water. There's no such thing as too long with leaving your decals in the water. And actually, when we're doing family members' nails and etc., we'll just throw a whole bunch of decals in the water and just leave them in there, and then when we're ready, we'll pull them up, so then that way we're doing more than just one application. We've made our decals 6 years ago. with the average person in mind of they're going to be handled, they're going to be poked and prodded, they're going to be laid down and repositioned, and we've tried to make a very durable decal with all of that in mind. However, this is not that thin plastic that will leave like a piece on your nail that you can pick at and pull up at a later time. So the only sizing that we recommend when it comes to the wraps, or the only cutting, is for the nail bed. So as you see, we lay it down here and it's not quite the way we want it. So we're gonna turn this upright and we're just gonna trim just a tiny bit off. You can do this before you dip your decal, or you can do it after. We did it after to kind of show off a little bit of how durable these guys really are. You're gonna wanna find the position you wanna lay the decal down on. As long as your base polish is dry, you will get several chances to pull this back up and reposition it. We're gonna actually lay that the way we want it, and then we bend the top of it here. Looks like we smudged our white tip there, so we'll fix that in a second. But anyways, you'll fold it in position the way that you want it, and then you'll curve it around the sides and curve it there. Now for this part of the nail, say this is the natural nail, we recommend tucking this in around your nail bed and cuticle. Then what will happen is when, we'll show you in a second when we put the top coat on, what will end up happening is it's all going to dissolve and become part of your nail. So we've folded the top down to also show you that if you don't have the patience to deal with this overhang with the top coat, then you can take your emery board and underneath the nail, just gently file, fold your corner down, and gently file, going down towards the nail. You don't want to come on top of it because you're going to actually rip your decal before it's actually covering the nail. So you want to always do it facing down. So then you're only getting off what absolutely needs to come off. And then you give it a tiny tug, and then the piece comes right off. You discard that. And again, we're going to leave this hang here to show you how it will dissolve. But if it was on your actual nail, we would recommend tucking it in around the cuticle and nail bed. And then once you hit it with the top coat, it's going to dissolve anyways. Before we add the top coat, I'm going to fix where I accidentally nicked that white polish before I got it completely dry. So we're going to fix that real quick. Again, when you're working with your own natural nails, those are things that are going to happen. We don't want anyone getting discouraged thinking they have to be a nail tech to apply our product. We made it with just the average person in mind. We're the average person. I'm not a nail tech. None of the people that work for me are a nail tech. We all actually just are nail enthusiasts that wanted to make a great product and offer it to the public. Again, with that line, I have made it a little messy, so I'm just going to push it up a little bit, and then it's actually going to go away when we put the tip on. Okay, so back to this nail. When you, just like when you do our decals, it's going to be a fast pass for the first coat. So it's a 1, 2, 3. To secure that piece that we edged off, we're going to go across the side here, and then this is hanging, so we're going to actually go ahead and put the top coat on that, and it's going to shrink right up. And then we're going to put the top coat there, and it all shrinks like a nail wrap or an Easter egg wrap into position. The first pass is not even, it's just to get the decal to start working. Now, we know that we just put some white on this, so we're going to let that dry for another second here, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you why the full wraps, unless they are the black and white designs or the white designs, is not a good idea to put on a color. So we're going to take another wrap. Notice again, the corners aren't cut. We're going to dip it for a few seconds. You'll know when it's ready, when it's willing to budge. It's not willing to budge yet, so we'll just dip it back in. And then we'll try to budge again, and it's coming off. Discard the paper backing. Again, we're going to make that cut for the back of the nail bed. So just trim a little off like so. We're going to try to skip over here real quick. And you can use it on colors. We just want you to realize that it's going to change the effect of what you purchased. Now, as you're seeing as I'm laying this down, it has a purple glow. Instead of that funky color 70s looking thing that you purchased, it's now becoming all very purple and favoring the purple color because that's the color we had underneath. So again, we're gonna fold the top, fold the corners. Again, without trying to bump that white nail. We should have probably painted that first, but I've had people ask of how we're tipping off the nails to then be able to have the two colors. And then you're just edging around with the nail file. And then you're gonna lift this back up and you're gonna give it a gentle pull and then off it comes. And then we're gonna tuck this side in if it was our natural nail. And then we're going to hit it with a fast pass of top coat. So as we said, 1, 2, 3. And then now this one over here has had time to dry, and now we're going to do a nice thorough coat to give it that high gloss shine that we want. You can always put 3 or 4 or 5 coats on. Whatever shine you're looking for can be reached on how many ever coats of top coat, of course, that you're using. All right, we're going to try to fix where we goofed a little bit here with that with the purple polish and the white nail. So let's see here if I can get out of my own way and try to fix that. All right, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of purple polish here and try to clean up that line a little bit where I goofed with the white. So this is kind of nothing to do with this tutorial, but it shows that we're all human and we're gonna make some little goofs. Don't panic and get out the fingernail polish remover and strip the nail and start over. And my rooster's gonna have something to say in this video. Sorry. He's gonna talk to us a little bit here. He forgets what time it is from time to time. All right, so we have fixed that little bit of goof. Now, while we still got this in our hands, before we cut for our tips, we're gonna go ahead and add our second complete pass to the full purple nail. He's going to have a lot to say today. All right, so we're going to set this down. Looking pretty good, right? So as you see, this is what it looks like on true white, and this is what it looks like on just the purple. Now we're going to set this down and let it start to dry, and then we are going to cut for our tips to show you how to install the wraps as tips. So we're going to set this down. Again, cut your strip, and then cut your square. And then remember, you don't have to cut around it. You could if you wanted to, and then you're just going to cut it directly in half. Save a piece for later. Then you're working with your other piece. And then you dip it in water for a few seconds. We're probably going to end up rushing this tip since we had to work so hard on fixing those polishes, but I'm going to try it anyway. So we're going to go ahead and dip it. It's not ready to budge yet, so you just dip back in for a few more seconds. Not a big deal. Now it's ready to move. Now on the tips, there is no second cut. Just cut them in half. There's no second cut that needs to be made. If your polish is not completely dry, you will not get a second chance at this, so you'll want to make sure you get it right the first time. And I'm pretty sure our polish isn't dry since I goofed it up. I'm going to lay this down just over the white. Or I'm going to attempt to lay it down just over the white. There we go. Looks like we got just a little bit of purple in the mix. And then you want to make sure you've pressed it in position. And then we're going to fold top down. And then we're going to fold the corner in. Whoops. Struggling a little bit with the corner. The polish is definitely still wet. And then we'll fold the other corner in. And then we're going to get our nail file. And again, away from you and down is how you want to file this. And then you pull it back up and then pull down. And then it comes off just like so. Discard that piece. We're going to take our polish. And it's fast pass. 1, whoops, 2, 3, and then make sure you go around the edge where you peeled that off, and then you'll wait for that to completely dry so you can get in a complete pass to get that high gloss look. And then I'm actually gonna speed up the process here on this one. Okay, So, to recap quickly, this was the wrap you bought. This is what it looks like if you change the undertone polish. Looks true to form on white. And then this is the application of it as a tip on white with partial purple polish. So then that way you can still be creative. We hope you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe and comment below. We answer all comments and we're open to suggestions of future videos. Stay tuned. Thank you.